So I'm just sitting here, playing Tekken, minding my own business, and some random PMF want to tell me that Season 3 got leaked? Boy, if you... One thing before I get this video started, shout out to George Papa for making the artwork. Nothing against you, dude. You did a great job on your artwork. I just can't believe people actually thought that was real. Alright, now let's get things started. Welcome to a new video. I'm gonna start doing some new stuff on this channel, so I might as well just start off with this one. I've been planning on trying to do podcasts for a while, and I guess this will be the closest thing that we'll get to a podcast, so hopefully y'all like this idea. But it's pre-recorded, so it's not going to be the type of podcast that I kind of wanted. But hopefully we'll be able to get these live sooner than later. And these podcasts won't be Tekken exclusive, even though I play this game every single day. It's going to include other fighting games such as Street Fighter, Samurai Showdown, etc. So look out for more of these in the future. But anyways, Crispy, what are you cooking up today? Today we're gonna cook up 10 legacy characters who should come back in the Season 3 patch. Let's be real here, bro. We all love Tekken. Even if you say you hate it, we all love Tekken. And ever since Season 2, Tekken has been bigger than ever. It's gonna be headlining EVO this year, so hopefully we'll be able to get an announcement of Season 3 or some sort of other Tekken game. But it'll most likely be Season 3. And with the possible Season 3 coming up, what possible characters would most likely be able to come back into this next gen version of Tekken? There were certain fan favorites that were left out of Season 2 that... my nigga Bruce, man, oh my god! Yet even though they've left us, there is still such thing as a season pass in this Season 3. The question is, if there will be characters returning, who will be returning? And I've been thinking about 10 characters that could return home to their lovely home video game franchise. So without further ado, let's get it started. We're gonna start off with number 10, which is Roger Jr. Roger Jr. is the boxing kangaroo we all know and love in the Tekken community. And when you think about it, this is actually a waifu, because the one that's actually fighting is Roger's wife, and Roger Jr. is actually in the pouch. So like, it's another waifu.
What?
But other than that, he has a unique fighting style. He's a unique character, and a lot of people kind of want him. Like, the people would be interested in him if he comes through. And because of his unique fighting style, that brings up his chances of actually making it to the game. But does that mean he actually has a good chance of making it to the game? The thing that brings him down on this list is the controversy that happened a while ago. He was actually supposed to make it to the main roster of Tekken 7, but something happened beforehand. There's an organization called the PETA, which I believe is called the People of Ethical Treatment of Animals. Yeah, that's it. And a video was seen by them of someone punching a kangaroo. I think it was to save his dog or something. But they weren't on board with that, so they requested Tekken to actually take out Roger out of the series. It kind of sucks to see a character get taken out of Tekken, but yet again, it is understandable. Like, even though, like, they got your dog, there's no reason to punch another animal. But due to the controversy, there is a very, very low chance of him actually making it again. Honestly, the only thing that's keeping him in the race is his unique fighting style and no animations at all. But it could be a bad thing too, because it just shows that they're not even attempting to work on Roger and putting him in the game at all. But if they don't put him in the game, it's understandable. But if they do, I would kind of be disappointed, but kind of hyped at the same time because someone's coming back. I would have definitely loved it if he made it to the main roster, but DLC, it would kind of be a waste of a slot, but you never know. It's up to them. Next up, we have Jun Kazama at number 9. Jun is Jin's mama, and we all know that Jin is a mama's boy. So if Jin had his mama back, then he'd be happy. And if we had his mama back, then we'd all be happy. Boy, if you don't... Alright, my bad. Yeah, but real talk though, Jun is a very popular character who's only appeared in a limited amount of games, surprisingly. Yeah, I know Jun was supposed to be dead in Tekken 3, but Baek Doo San and Kazuya were also supposed to be dead in Tekken 3, and they still made it back to games like Tekken 4 and Tekken 5, so... Let me also add, it's not confirmed if she's dead or not, so there's still a chance that she's still alive. And if they confirm if she's alive, then her chances just got a lot higher. But let's look at the pros first. I already did say that she is a very popular character, and she's also very important in the lore too. She also has a pretty unique stance that no one else has in this game, so that's pretty good too. However, a very big downside of her game is that she's very similar to Asuka. And some people might not like that you have to pay for a character that's just like another character in this game. But when you think about it, y'all wanted Marduk back, and we got him back when we already had Gigas, so same-ish. So the way it looks right now, she does have a 50-50 chance of actually making it, which is way bigger than Roger's chances. And the next like 2 or 3 characters might have the same amount of chances as Jun. So you could place these 3 characters wherever, but right now Jun for me is number 9.
I am shooketh. What the
At 8 we got Jinpachi. I honestly think that Jinpachi is the hardest one to argue for, because every good point will come with a point why he shouldn't be in the game. People, in my opinion, will probably complain because he's another Mishima, and we already have mad at him already. But clearly his tag 2 moveset doesn't show that he has the ordinary Mishima playstyle. So that's one thing. Another person said to me that his projectile would be broken because it's unblockable. But the 2D characters have projectiles too, and now that they know how to work the projectiles in this game, they could give it the same projectile properties as the 2D players, so that's another thing. I think the biggest thing is that since the Kazuya and Heihachi rivalry is over, does he still have relevancy to even be in the game since that rivalry is over? But since it's the final chapter of Kaz and Hei's rivalry, should he have one last run since he's already made a canon appearance in the story mode anyway? It's really hard to make an argument of why Jinpachi should be in the game, because no matter what, there's always going to be another argument that's going to contradict it, and both sides will have good arguments no matter what, because they both make sense. So he literally has the split 50-50 chance of making it, just because with all the good points, there's going to be bad points no matter what, which is why he is not higher on this list. Next up, we got Baek Doo San. Baek is somewhat in the same position as Jun, since they both have similar movesets to someone who's already in the game. But as I said before, Marduk is in the game as a DLC character, and Gigas is in the game too. And it's pretty obvious who has the same moveset as Baek, which is obviously Hwoarang. And it kinda sucks to see Hwoarang have some of Baek's moves, which is something that makes Baek and Jun's chances different, since Asuka has none of Jun's moves. But yet again, many moves have been recycled into many other characters' moveset, such as Anna's down back 3 being Claudio's down back 3, Gigas and Marduk share some similar animations, King even having some of Marduk and Armor King's animation. Man, the list can go on. And even though he was somewhat killed by Azazel in Tekken 6, people still think he has a chance of actually making it. And I honestly think so too. This is not the first time he's actually come back from the dead. So he could have a chance of actually doing it again. Because I feel like if he comes back, there could be a lot of interesting scenarios of how he could be a very core part in the story. And then that storyline could translate into Tekken 8. You never know, man. Anything could happen. And the reason I put him over Jun and Jinpachi, even though they have more history in the lore, is because Baek has a very unique personality. Because I feel like we can see a hint of Tekken 2 Baek Doo San, especially with the war that's about to happen in the future. Because Baek was mostly known for being blackmailed to do bad stuff, and I honestly think that if they bring back this type of Baek, this vulnerable Baek, and give another twist on his story, I think that Baek would be a good fit for either Tekken 7, or if he doesn't make it, a good fit for Tekken 8 story. Next up we got Wang. Wang has been heavily requested these past few months, even since season 2, despite the fact he's supposed to be dead because of his ending. But he's a popular character with a unique fighting style, and he is kind of somewhat important in the lore. But that is because of Jinpachi. And this can also be seen earlier in the Tekken series too. Because in the first 2 Tekken installments, Wang was always known as Jinpachi's best friend as well, even though we never even got a look at Jinpachi. And we didn't see Jinpachi till Tekken 5, which Wang played a way bigger part in compared to the first 2 installments. And then in Tekken 6, he did kind of have a big role there, and it was sadly because of his death. But a recurring theme in his story, even in all the 4 games that he's been seeing, is that he's trying to bring peace into the Mishima family, even though he's not really a part of the family. And that is because of Jinpachi's promise to bring peace into the family. So to fulfill his promise, he's trying to find a new head in the Mishima family. If they somehow write him back from the dead, he will probably play a big part in trying to get Jin into being the head of the Mishima family. And that is only if they somehow make him come back from the dead or something. If he is dead, because everything is unknown still. But if for any reason he does come back, do you guys think Jinpachi's odds would increase as well? Comment down below on what you think would happen. Next up we got Ogre. Ogre is kind of a weird one for certain reasons. He was known for being one of the best bosses back in Tekken 3, and is known for using everybody's movesets in every game that he's in. Like in Tekken 3, he mainly copied Jin, Paul, and Jun, and in Tekken Tag 2, he mainly copied Paul, Bruce, and Marduk, so yeah. It could decrease his chances due to people not wanting similar movesets to other characters, but the main reason people want him and love him so much is because of his cool looking design. Like, peep this, it was so cool, NetherRealm even copied the design for Kodokan. And that nigga was a jobber, don't even get me started with that shit. But here is the main reason why people think he will come back in Season 3. If you started playing Tekken this year, then you probably won't know about this. But Tekken actually had a mobile game back in 2018. It was alright on the first day, but when days passed on, it turned out to be crappy. So as a Valentine's Day gift to all of us, they removed it. But the reason I'm bringing this up is due to the fact that some characters that didn't make it into Tekken 7 actually made it into Tekken Mobile instead. And it also has some sort of story mode in the mobile game as well. And in the ending, guess who appeared? Freaking Ogre. He didn't have no gameplay, but he did make an appearance in some sort of cinematic cutscene with the final boss, where he was revived with all the evil energy he had and stuff. It was so long ago, I don't even remember, even though it was like, I don't know, 5 months ago. But this is what made people question if he was going to be in Tekken 7. Does his Tekken mobile appearance affect his chances of getting into Tekken 7 in a negative way or a positive way? It could be a positive thing due to Marduk coming into Tekken Mobile before he made it as a DLC in Season 2. So that's one thing. But it could be a negative thing because maybe Marduk was just planned all along due to the fact that King's ending also included Marduk, which made a whole storyline between King, Armor King, and Marduk. So that's that as well. But overall, even with all these drawbacks to his chances, he still has a pretty good chance of actually making it into the game due to his mobile appearance, no matter how good or bad it affects it, and also his high demand of being in the game as well. Now these next 4 are the ones that I think have the biggest chance, and I believe is going to definitely be the Season 3 pass, along with a guest character and probably the original character. My first prediction for the Season 3 pass out of the 4 is Kunimitsu. I do honestly feel out of the 4 that are on my predictions, she does have the lowest chance. But let's look at the reasons why she is a good fit for Tekken 7. Even though she's supposed to be similar to Yoshimitsu, she has a pretty unique moveset, and it's pretty different from Yoshimitsu. Yeah, the similarities are there, but there are a lot of differences that you can see in her gameplay as well. Instead of 100 stances that Yoshi has, she has 1, and it's pretty cool looking. So since she's a little bit different from Yoshi, she does have a pretty good chance of making it into the game, in my opinion. But the thing that brings her chances down is that stance that I was talking about is also used by 2 certain characters in Tekken 7. And those characters are Eliza and Katarina. All 3 of them have that advancing slide that gives them the ability to do a certain move from that stance as well. But that was all originally taken from Kunimitsu when it came to Tekken 7. But yet again, just one move or one stance doesn't really take a certain person away from being in this game, because Anna's down back 3 is also with Claudio, and some of Marduk's moves are very similar to Giga's. So that does not rule her out totally. Another thing that I want to add is that she was in Tekken Revolution, and most of the characters that were in Tekken Revolution made it into Tekken 7. Only ones who didn't make it to Tekken 7 who were actually in Tekken Revolution were Kunimitsu and June, which could be argued about how June could be higher in the list and increase her chances as well. And 3, Christy, but that is only due to the fact that Eddie is in the game and we don't want an Eddie clone. But yet again, Kuma and Panda do not share the same slot, they have 2 individual slots, which make no sense at all, but we'll just deal with it. But overall, I feel like her Tekken Revolution appearance increases her chances, and also June's, since I did say her name. And even though similar to Yoshimitsu, her moveset is pretty freaking unique. And if she does make it, she will definitely be very fun to play.
I'm your worst nightmare.
Yo, I love that intro so much.
I just want to say one thing real quick. I love this character so much, I didn't want any fake representation of him. So I gave out poke chat gameplay and not no arcade battle gameplay. If this was a wish list and not off of possibility, this man would be number 1. I'm still wondering where all the black men in Tekken went. Like, Raven and Bruce are gone. We got Master Raven, but still. I'm out here still wondering why every single part of my mains in this new era of fighting games always have to come out as DLC. And you guys are out here trying to complain that your main is gone in only one fighting game? Like 10 fighting games now I had to.
I was 13 years old. I would inflate an inflatable pool and fill it up with Sherman, get butt naked and oil myself. Welcome to my life.
Like honestly, all of these guys are good suggestions to being in this game, but this is the only character I want. His fighting style is it's like you can't even have, like if you don't have a Muay Thai character in a fighting game now, your game is gonna die. And I don't care if Josie has like 5 moves of his. Gigas and Marduk are the exact same person, and Marduk still got in the game. Like, come on now. Freaking Kuma and Panda could have been a Palais swap, like freaking Lee and Violet. But no, I just want to take Bruce's space. Like, come on. If Bruce comes back, then I'll just be happy. That's all I'm saying. Like honestly, I can't even give like an educated response of why I want Bruce or if Bruce would be cool. I just want Bruce. And this is the only way I could explain of why he should come back or why I want him so bad. He was my main and I just want him back. Just please, Harada, Murray, whoever's, Bamco. Please. I love you. Next up we got Ganryu at number 2. It was a hard debate to see who I was gonna put at number 1, but Ganryu didn't have enough evidence for him to be at number 1, so I put him down at number 2. And if anything, he was actually gonna be my original number 1, but my team is full of asses and they don't want Ganryu, so I'm gonna keep them happy and put him at number 2. But anyways, a good reason why Ganryu should be in is because he has a unique fighting style like most of the cast in this top 10 list. But Ganryu is a sumo wrestler, and we all know the great sumo wrestlers of the fighting game community. Ganryu is one of them. We got E Honda, Taka Arashi. But the thing about those 3, or any sumo wrestler in general, is that there's not a lot of sumo wrestlers in the modern fighting games. Tekken 7 doesn't have one yet. Street Fighter 5 doesn't have E Honda yet. There hasn't been a virtual fighter since like 2012. The closest one to a sumo wrestler right now is Daimon. And King of Fighters was out since 2016. So that's pretty old now. Mortal Kombat never really had one either. The closest one they had to that was freaking Bo Raicho when he was more like a drunken fighter. So weirdly enough, we have no sumo wrestler in the modern fighting game era. And if Ganryu comes back, he will be the only fighting game character in the modern fighting game era who is a sumo wrestler. Another reason why he should come back is because he's hilarious. Nobody in the team finds him hilarious, but everybody else does, so screw them. Another thing that brings up his chances that include how funny he is Julia. Julia is in the freaking game, and Ganryu and Julia have been in a storyline in these past few Tekken games. Honestly, if Julia wasn't the last legacy character to be in Season 2, Ganryu would have most likely been in Season 2. But now that Julia's in, there's so many ways to add in Ganryu and so many storylines you could use to add in Ganryu just because Julia is in the game now. So overall, due to the fact that Julia is now in the game and that there are no sumo wrestlers in the modern fighting game era, then that should definitely increase the chances of Ganryu getting it. And yes, to all you lovely Zafina fans, you have Zafina at number 1 in my list. Even if you don't want Zafina, you know damn well Zafina is going to be on season 3. She is obviously the most unique character on this list, fighting style wise, personality wise. She's a freaking weirdo, but we love her for it. And shockingly, she's the only Tekken 6 debuted character that didn't make it into Tekken 7. And she was actually pretty important to the story too, which kind of shocked me. And even though the only characters in the game that are going to help her are the Tekken 6 characters, which actually don't do much to her appearance, there is one thing that was found in the files of Steam, and it's music. It's beautiful music that suits Zafina. Just listen. The name of that song is called Electro Egyptian, and Zafina is, guess what? Egyptian. And you wanna know how long it's been in there? Since season 1. So this has probably been planned for a while, but I was just shocked when I saw that she wasn't in season 2. And because she is the remaining Tekken 6 character needed to complete the list, and the hidden track and her high request, she definitely has the highest chance of getting to season 3. No doubt about that. I just want to thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys didn't really mind the buggy stuff in my voice. That's because I'm using a mobile app to edit this stuff, so sorry about that. Hopefully you guys didn't mind that. But other than that, there's more Crispy Kitchen to come, so hopefully you guys stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.